Wagwan YouTube, what you saying? It is I, Diligent Fingers, and welcome back to another video. Right now you're going to get into a track breakdown video taken from my Motion Gang Members Club, which is a Patreon style membership service that I set up back in January. If you want to join the Members Club and get these videos as soon as they come out, just go to www.diligentfingers.uk, go to memberships, pick tier 2 and you'll be able to get exclusive monthly tracks and track breakdown videos like this, plus merch like what I'm wearing now. But until then, enjoy the video. Yes, gang, Wagwan, you know who it is, and we're back with another track breakdown. First off, I want to apologise once again for how long it's taken to get at least this one to you. Been having some problems with actually getting this old project file back up. Some of the plugins weren't working properly. I had to replace some of plugins that were just out of date and the stuff. Some of them are still actually working, but I can't use them again. They're only working within this project file, as well as a couple of other things, but I've managed to get them all sorted now, so I can do the full breakdown for you. Also, if you don't know already, there is a summer sale on for my Motion Gang merch, my Forward Motion merch, my official Diligent Fingers merch right now. Summer sale, 40% off of your total checkout order, your total checkout amount, with promo code FORWARD. So when you get to the checkout, at the top there'll be a little section for the promo code. If you type in FORWARD, all capital letters, you'll get 40% off your total order. So if you've not managed to get anything from the store, any of my merch or anything like that, I've taken all of the merch that was members only and just put that in the normal shop. I'm going to actually stop doing the members only stuff because it doesn't really make any sense. I might as well just make it available for everybody. But if you've not managed to get yourself any merch, now is the time to do it with 40% off. This is going to be running up until, I think, the end of September now. I was going to do it up until the beginning of September, but it is going to be up until the end. So once again, Forward Motion summer sale is now on, 40% off your total order when you use promo code FORWARD, all capital letters. Get involved, get yourself a bargain right now. And with that being said, let's get into this track breakdown, which is Move Me, one of my favorite tracks that I have made so far. I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to get straight into it, basically, and just give ourselves a little refresher of how this sounds. Love this tune. Simple yet effective. Loving having a standing desk now as well, so I can actually move about instead of being static. Let's go. absolutely adore this tune. So let's get into it. Let's get into how it was made, starting off with the intro. Basically, it all started with me finding this sample from Cymatics. Wicked sample, but obviously that's not how it sounds originally. Let me take all of these effects off, because I've got EQ, I've got effects tricks. I was doing that again. It did this to me last time, and I thought there was a major problem with it. But I've got effect tricks on there with every section just doing a quick reverse on that part. Then we've got filter step, which is a free filter plugin which acts like a step sequencer as well. And each step you can actually adjust the volume of how much the filter comes in and stuff. So just listening to that in context. Wicked little effect. Then we've got chorus on here as well, just to widen it out a bit. And then for it to all open up slowly over time, we have got meta filter. With a little follow thing here that's making it bounce according to the impact of, you know, what's in the sound, what's in the sample. And then if you turn all of these off, just so then you can hear how it sounds originally. And putting all of them on just changes it up enough to make it your own. Because I don't mind using samples, sample packs, sound packs and things like that. I call them sound packs because at this point, and that, like, you're not really sampling anything. You're not really sampling a record or anything like that. You're not taking something from somewhere else to be able to incorporate it into your tune. You're just using sounds that have been made for that purpose. So that's why I call them sound packs rather than sample packs. But they've been called sample packs for that long. Everybody else is just used to that. But if you ever hear me saying sound packs, that's why I actually say sound packs. But yeah, starting off from that sample, little fade in at the beginning. But every time, obviously, if you know me, you know that I like to try and fill things out and expand, enhance samples if I'm using samples. So I'll come with these. Just a really nice soft mallet patch. And it's like, if I play it along with the sample as well, and it just fills it out, nicely for you. And that, then I've also got to add some extra bits just to give the intro a bit more melody, even though that's not playing for some reason. Or is that all I did actually in the intro? Hold on. Why does it seem like this pad is not actually playing? Because it's missing sounds. That's why. Okay. Let's search. Okay. Well, at least it's only on here. Hold on. Search database. Nope. Right. We're going to ignore it this time, because at least we don't actually need it for anything. It's only the beginning of the intro and the breakdown. But this is what I mean about like things not working the way that they're supposed to. But yeah, so with that, I've got a crash symbol here just to always, you know, start off the tune, let people know where the start of the tune is. And this is where I started incorporating some cymatics vocal samples. So yeah, I mean, so what I've done is I've ended up chopping them up and putting in some EQ, and then I love this delay, Valhalla Freak Echo. Just left it like that. Some subtle delay, take out some of the highs, take out some of the mids, because I don't want too much stuff piercing into the high frequencies. And then on these, I think what I've done here is, yes, I've transposed them to the main vocal. I've transposed that down by 1, and then there was some other vocals in there that I wanted to keep within key, so I've transposed these vocals up by 1, and then the other vocals and the duplicate of those vocals up by 2, so it ends up giving it a harmony. So if you listen to it, just that one on its own, and then this one, just a subtle harmony. And then using the freak echo just to keep it trailing on. It's just a nice, simple, subtle intro full of melody, some soul, do you know what I mean? Some interesting elements, ear candy. And then I've got all of these vocals going through a bus where I've got some more EQ, taking the low end out of the stereo frequencies, taking a bit of mid out, taking all of the low end out of the sides. Then we've got some overdrive just to give it a bit of boost. And then we've got wider just to widen it out in the stereo field. And that's what helps it, like helps vocals to sit on top of the track and almost gel into it, but you know, bring the vocals a bit more forward like that. Some nice, had to get in Alchemy. I think, what patch is it? Curious, yeah, Curious Hammers. So these are keys. I'll put Freak Echo on it again, but they sound more like guitars, like guitar strings, guitar plucks rather than keys. You recognize those drums? Those are the chopper drums, chopper remix drums that I made, with some elements taken out, and that an extra bit of snare added to it with some reverb on the rim shot. So I've got the normal snare, And then I've got the rim shot. Normal snares got fresh air on there as well, just to bring out a bit more of the high frequencies, but not piercing. Some EQ just to take out some of the lows, a bit of the mids on the snare, just to keep it in the space that it's supposed to stay in. And then, yeah. Here's something that I did notice though, which I wish I would have rectified before putting it out, because that snare seems to be a little kick, sorry, seems to be a little bit distorted. So what I wish I would have done is, rather than boosting these areas, just take out a bit more. So hopefully it softens up the kick, so it's still got impact, but it doesn't have that top distortion. So now we have to get on to the basses and mid basses. So to begin with, as always, I've got my sub, my 808 that I use, and I just adjust the envelope to taste, to either make it into a pounding 808 or more of a sustained sine wave sub. And as always, got some Szechuan. Got some duck, just to make sure that the kick is cutting through nicely. We've got some overdrive, just standard, just to give it that extra bit of boost. And we've got the LA2A clone that I didn't realize was an LA2A clone until I started doing a bit more research on the LA2A, because I have actually got the original plugin, because Universal Audio actually gave it away for free. I think it was during Christmas or maybe summer actually. In that, so I managed to snag it for free before it went up to full price. And yeah, this just gives it that sort of more tube-like distortion and warmth, tube saturation, but it's also a leveling tube, compressor as well, so you can use the peak reduction just to get it all leveled out, use the gain just to raise the volume, and then you've got your extra envelope attack and release ratio, as well as wet dry if you want to bring some of the dry signal in comparison. Yeah, and that really helps just to sort of level out, bring down the peak, so it's less work on the compressor or the limiter or the maximizer, whichever it is that you're using to get loudness. And then I have another EQ as well, just to give it a dip for where the kick would end up coming through, the fundamental for the kick would end up coming through, basically. So that's the sub. And then when it comes to the mid bass, when it comes to the mid bass, what I've ended up doing is, what I'll do is I'll get up another instrument for everybody, because what I've ended up doing is using my Vital Patch Awuga bass. The Awuga bass. And come up with the melody, because here's the Awuga bass on there you go. So that's the melody. But what I've ended up doing is bouncing it down and then adding effects to it. So here it is bounced down. And what I've got is one layer that is just notched to high heaven. So just so solo this bit. So that's the mid of the sound, and here's more the high mids and tops. And what I've done is I've ended up getting the melody that I wanted and then bouncing it down and that, so then it's easier for me to put more effects on there. I think when I made this, I was still struggling a little bit with hard drive space and that, so I keep saying that I'm still working as if I've still got a 2014 iMac. And that, so the best thing to do when things start overloading on my machine and things like that is just to bounce it down, but then it makes it easier when it comes to the processing. So as you've seen, I've notched the sound there, and then I've added Isotope Trash with the Boiler Room patch, which is just a really, really nice patch for just, you know, changing up the sound, still keeping the character and the transients, but changing up the sound a little bit, even on the notch. And then we've got Meta Filter as well that I can use. I can't change it at the moment because the automation is there. But on the top one, so carrying on with there, I've got Meta Filter. I've got another EQ. No, that's the first EQ with the notch. Then I've got the level into the LA2A clone, level out those peaks, and then I've got Duck for the kick with a really open part to it, so it's taking out a fair bit of the sound. And it gives it that delayed sort of impact. Because if I turn it off, turn it back on, there we go. So like, that's using Duck creatively, using sidechain basically creatively to, you know, get some interest in some stuff. And that. Now, when it came to the I love this so much, and this is like a bit of a callback to well, not a callback, paying homage to Marcus Intellects. What was it? It was Bunya. Boom, 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 boom. I have used that in a couple of tunes creatively, but because I like that sort of abrupt entrance of like a really harsh bass sound, even in Liquid, because I like trying to blend the two and stuff, you know. So I got that sound made out of that same Awuga bass, but just cut to a certain bit. See what I mean? Added Trash again with the Boiler Room preset. Some EQ, taking out most of the lows and the mids. Meta Filter for bringing it up in terms of a gradual opening out. And then some reverb. Really simple. It's bounced down from the Awuga bass, because again, makes it easy in terms of processing and things like that. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it really. I was going to try and explain what the sound was, but yeah, it's the Awuga bass. I've just played it, got that certain bit out, used the trash to change the sound and give it a bit more punch and impact. and that, and then yeah, that's it really, with the sub going along with it. So boom, 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 boom. And then you can hear me using the meta filter to like open out and affect the bass. Wavy, you know what I mean? So it's just not the same all the time. I think there's one where I go down. Up. There we go down. And then when it comes to the other section, that's where I'm using the filter again. I'll show you the automation actually, so you can see where I'm automating. Yeah, I mean, so you can see where the automation is, what I'm affecting, what am I using to bring it up in the intro as well. And that nice bit of reverb just to help it ring out. When it comes to the reverb, what I'm doing with the reverb is I'm extending the decay and the distance just to give it that trail off, and that basically. Just nice, just keeps it from sounding dry, you know, gives it that air to it, and that, because I'm not adding much else really, I'm just letting it just roll on, just a nice liquid fusion roller. Oh yeah, that's a point as well. So I've got this extra bit here. Which is where I'm just adding the freak echo, basically, and just letting that trail out. Standard patch, no changes with it whatsoever. It was just perfect when I put it on, just to give it that ring out. Just to change it up, man. Nice, nice. And then just to add some extra bits into it, some extra ear candy, I found these other cymatic samples that were just nice. If I just chop them down, they're just nice. Just nice, man. And now, just like, in a sense, this is a callback to sort of older ways of sampling, where really all I want is the doo-doo, like that bit. So I sang that so badly then, I was so out of key, but you know what I mean. And the that I didn't really want the twinkly bits in there, but in the context of the whole tune and that, it just blends in so well. You hardly hear it. add some extra ambience, some extra ambient melodies. And you can hear the kick as well. You can hear the duck doing what it's supposed to be doing with the side chain. Just nice. Just nice. Just adds an extra bit of interest, extra bit of progression. And that's it, basically. I didn't feel like there was any more that needed to be done. Again, just like sound effects. Do you know what I mean? Little bits of ear candy, little bits of effects, and that. Doing the classic reverbed snare at the echoed out snare at the end. Different snare, but still. I'm definitely using the shift, so you hear it going up in pitch. Use the shift on the freak delay to be able to do that. It just gives it a bit of extra, you know. I keep saying ear candy interest, but all those things that stop it sounding repetitive, but make it feel like the track is progressing and moving forward. It's not just looping over and over kind of thing, you know. And with those types of little things, you can really help a track to move along and get it closer to feeling like it's finished. Do you know what I mean? I'd still say there's a lot more that I could do with this tune, really and truly. But at that point where I clicked bounce and made it the final home master, you know, at this point I was just so happy with how I could just keep listening to it without feeling like something's jumping out that needs to be changed or anything like that, you know. A lot of the times with me, if I can get myself to that point where, you know, I've got the intro, I've got the drop, I've got the breakdown, I've got the second drop, I've got an outro. If I want to add an outro, if I can get myself to the point where I can listen to it all and nothing is jumping out at me like, no, that needs to be changed, I can vibe out with it and I feel good, then to me, that means it's done. That means it's finished. It's not perfect, but it's finished. It's definitely completed, you know. I've done all the important elements that I need to do to make it a finished track, you know? So, yeah, man. And it's just so simple. Only 41 tracks. A few of them are muted, so probably less than 40 tracks. And that, yeah, man. Running theme with these track breakdowns, but sometimes, or a lot of the times with me, less is more. And then this feeds more into a lot of the times what producers talk about, the vibe of a track. You know, if the vibe is there and it can keep you moving, keep you swaying, if it makes you feel good, a lot of the times that's all you need really to create a really good track. So yeah, man, really happy with this track. Personal favorite. I just love how simple it is, how it moves me. Because that's why I ended up calling it Move Me, because that's what it did. It just kept moving me. There was, yeah, I know I keep repeating myself, but yeah, man, absolutely adore this track. Love it. Absolutely adore this track. So yeah, man, that is the track breakdown for Move Me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was insightful. If there's ever anything else that you want to know about, you know, how I make presets or patches or anything like that, I'll try my best. I'm not really that great with remembering all of the routing and stuff that I do with the patches that I make, because in all honesty, I'm still learning how to like sound design. I won't say that I'm the greatest or anything like that, but anything that I do learn, I'll most certainly pass on. I want to do a session where I'm making a lot of stuff from my Neutron. I'm currently saving up as well for a new controller, but also for the Proton that has just come out from Behringer, because this is a monophonic synth, and I want to get a polyphonic synth to go along with it. And I love the fact that you can't actually save patches on any of these things. You have to, once you have made what you want to make and got it to the stage that you want to get it at, you have to commit. You have to commit. You've got to bounce it down, and then from there, that's where the super creativity comes into it. You've got to think of ways of being able to mold the shape and mold the sound, shape the sound into what you want it to be. So yeah, man, once again, thank you very much for watching. Very soon the next track breakdown is going to be coming through, because this is to make up for last month's one. So there's still this month's one that I need to do. So look out for that. Once again, big love to all the members, club members, for your continued support and your patience and that. But as you can see, things have improved and things are going to be moving forward a lot more, you know, in the future. So yeah, take it easy. Take care of yourselves. I hope you have an amazing week and that. Take care of your mental health as well as your health, your physical health, because you don't know. Good health is wealth. And as always, blessings to you all.